Hi, I'm Mayhew, Managing Director at Alembic Strategy, and I thought I'd take a moment to discuss this issue: what is strategy? What does it mean to be strategic? And I think people can get very wrapped up in this and think about the need to understand the market, competition, opportunity, putting connections together and creating something amazing and beautiful and dynamic. But I really like just to keep it simple. So this is my interpretation of what it means to be strategic and what's strategy, and you may disagree with me, but this is the way I like to think of it, and I think keeping it simple is a good thing for you to do. So I've just written up here our kind of approach to this, which is the now, where, how. I'll come back to that in a second, but let me just say that my view of strategy is you're being strategic whenever you think realistically about your current state, whether it's your family or your community or your project or your business or yourself. It doesn't really matter what the context is, but when you are realistic about where you are now and you start to think about how you want to improve over time and what are the possibilities and opportunities for you to improve over time. So a really simple way of thinking about strategy is it's just about thinking ahead on how can we make things better and what are the best choices and options. And the great thing about being strategic with yourself, your family, your community, your business is that if you get that right, if you get good at that by practicing it constantly as a way of being, then what you're doing is you're driving value and opportunity to yourself and to the others around you. And you're really starting to clarify what are the values and the priorities and principles against which I make my decisions about what to do. So the strategic thinking is first of all about just thinking about the future and how do I improve it, and as a consequence of that, how does that change my decision right now about what I choose? If you get that, then you understand this. So this is the now, where, how. Not being strategic, I understand I have issues and problems. We've all got those. We've all, more problems is great because it's challenging and it's fun. Sometimes it's not fun, but generally it's fun. And it gets us up in the morning to fix those things. But most people who are not strategic go straight from here is my problem to we need a solution. That's not strategic, and the reason it's not strategic is because you haven't taken a moment to consider where you're headed, which is giving you the priorities. So most people are iterating between these two places constantly. Now, how, now, how, now, how. And you get a kind of series of random steps which are oriented around fixing problems as they come up. So you might succeed, you might not succeed. It's a very evolutionary process, and it's pretty chancy as to whether that's going to work out for you in the long term. Because you're not thinking about your priorities, what it is highly likely to do is to stop you from achieving what you want, which is this piece here, my vision for us and my vision for me. So I start with my problem, I now go to the where box, and I think, okay, what's my vision for this? What does my where look like? I want to describe where I want to be when this is done, how I want things to be, what's my vision for this when it's fixed. And only when I've really got clarity on that and I can understand my priorities do I come back and think about the solutions, the how. Because the how I'm going to choose is the one that gets me most effectively from my now to my where. Very simple, and you can apply it to yourself or any other context in life, and just putting the where in, that vision, and using it as your priority for choosing which how to use will make you start to be strategic. So that's strategy, very simple, having a vision for the future which is better than now, and making your priorities and your choices in accordance with the principles that come from that.